Hey there folks, good to see you. I would wave but I've got my hands on the steering wheel. It is day 23, almost there. This challenge has taken it out of me a little bit, but yesterday was a good day. Finally getting that plaza done, getting the blood pack done, and of course there was the big reveal. The big repair project that I'm going to be working on is resurrecting or exercising my Gaunt ghosts. There are some things that I've got to get done and out of the way, last minute errands and shopping, because it is the run up to that day. Hence the reason why the camera is a little bit shaky and I'm not sort of looking at you because I am busy driving. But I thought I would grab the opportunity to get this sort of intro done and out of the way. So what have we got in terms of crafting for the rest of the day? Well, it's the ghosts. I've got to do the inventory. I'm going to be continuing on with the Narmenian First Armoured, because there's certainly a couple more of their vehicles that I think needs a few touch-ups here and there, and we'll get that out of the way and then get onto the troops proper. I am also of course mindful that there's a couple of little other odds and ends that I've already started. Am I going to get around to the Raven Guard? Chances are not. I might get the chance to show you how to do a mould on the jetpack. It's looking like that's going to be an after Christmas job now, unfortunately. 3 Dark Elves. I am not going to be tripped up by those little sods, but those are things to be sort of fitted in as and when. So I will see you in a couple of minutes getting back to the main show. The first thing I need to do today is get the intro for the long form video out of the way. And yeah, as you can see, this is a little bit of a fraught one. Right, as you can see, things are still set up from yesterday's glamour shot. Let's get these out of the way so I can check what the state of play is with the armour. Alright, let's start off with this basilisk. Surprisingly fine. Oh, now that's the point. After the finding it on the sentinels, just check those decals. Yeah, they're all looking good. Alright, the basilisk's okay. Right, Grizmund's mount. Yes, there is bits missing off here. These were just studs made out of lentils, so yeah, I'll glue a couple of those back on and repaint them. That's not a problem. Ooh, okay, you're a bit on the wobbly side. You need a bit of a glue, and he's missing his aerial. Okay. I'll have to dig out the guitar wire and replace that. Yeah, this one was again a conversion. It's got a floppy barrel.
That's what she said.
That is because I'll just get them there for comparison. Ooh, okay, yeah, spotted some damage on that one. All right, is it Conqueror pattern? The big proper anti-tank one rather than the battle cannon. I just used the same kit rather than getting any of the Forge World conversions, which was the only stuff that was available at the time. I just cut it kind of there and replaced that with brass tubing, which does make it a heavier barrel. So I'll have to see at some stage how I can sort of stiffen that up, and not necessarily have to keep it, yeah, I'm going to say it, as erect as it is.
Oh, behave.
Alright, so Grizmund's one does need some work on it. Yeah, bit of damage there. Bit of paint scuffing. Nothing too bad. Just on that side gun. Yeah, okay. Right, 2 there. Oh, was that lifting at the bottom of that one? No, it's not. That's okay. Yeah, again, just a wee bit of paint scuffing in there, but I'm not going to count that as actual damage. In fact, that might be from the original paint job. Just where I sort of missed a bit. No, that one is looking good. Alright, so 2 that are in need of repair. I'll get on with these, and then that will be the Narmenian contingent all fixed. Just make sure I don't drop it on the model. Just a wee dab of polystyrene cement. Pop it on its side like that, so I can see a bit better what I'm doing. Okay, that's sitting there quite nicely by itself, so I'll put that off to the side and call that one done. That was dead easy. I need to give this one a brush off first, just get some of that accumulated grime away from around where I want to make the joint. I'll give it a proper clean later on, but I just want to get around so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, same deal. Alright, I'm gonna have to hold that. Oh, okay. And yeah, the decal on that one is lifting. I don't know whether or not you can see it. Just there, okay. I'll need to smooth that down as well. Yeah, I think that'll hold. Right, I'll just get a wet brush and sort that decal out. Might have to replace that one. I don't know whether that might smooth out with a hairdryer. We shall see. Right, it's red lentil time. Get a drop of super glue on there. I'm just using a pin to pick this up and get it down into place. Right, now what I have done off camera for this turret, because it was kind of finicky. I can't remember why. I'd have to check back in the army list, but I believe the command tank had extra comms of some kind, which is why it's sort of got this radio stuff here, and I put a pair of antennas on here, both of which have snapped off, so they need replacing. I'd obviously had a go at doing that on this one. You can see sort of like the remnants of super glue there, so that must have been a problematic one. What I've done, I've filed it down flat, and using a heated proggy thing, I have heated that up, pushed it into the plastic to actually get some holes. Using guitar string here, I've cut a new pair of aerials, and we just need to get them mounted in. There's 1 and 2. Now is the brilliant thing of colour matching, because this was originally a spray coat. It was one of the Tamiya colours. I almost want to say deck tan or dark yellow, something like that, and I don't have any more of it, but it is only in a couple of places, and it does get taken over by a bit of dark lining with a flesh wash, so hopefully I'll be able to match it up reasonably well, and it's not going to be too obvious that they are replacements. But I'll leave that a little while to dry first. And of course, such is my luck, as I was giving it a soft brush to, you know, get all the dust and things like that off, another rivet flicked away. I must have been using absolutely rubbish glue at the time. God. Alright, I will pop this one out of the way, and there was just this wee bit of touch up to do on the sponson here. Alright, that is that one all done. Don't you hate it when you forget to turn the camera on? Alright, yeah, I've already done some, and that is not the worst colour match in the world. By the time I get a flesh wash on that, that's I don't think I'm going to be able to tell the difference. Just a couple more to do on this side. Yeah. Alright. Oh. Stray cat here. Not bad at all. Okay. Right, I will leave that to dry, and then it's flesh wash and just a wee bit of sort of like grey stippling, and the Grizmund will be back in action. Right, now I've got to find out where I replaced them. Bit around there to blend that one in. And give it a touch up just on there. Bit in that gap there where it's just sort of lifted. Right, and then it's just going to be a wee bit of grey stipple. The last little bit is that stipple coat. Just blend it in a wee bit with the other stuff that's around. Make it look not so out of place, because I honestly can't recall which grey I used for that. Hang on, final check. There's just a wee bit of chip paint there. And give that a bit on it. I am going to call that done. Pop the turret back on. Grizmund's back in action. Yay! Alright, time for the infantry. I'll best go and see what's available. Right, first box of infantry. Now this looks like the support box. I think this was heavy weapons teams, I think. Let me grab them out, put them together, and let's see what I've got. Right, okay. So it looks like I've got a mortar team and 2 teams of missile launchers. We know them as tread feathers. The ones that I've put on the bases aren't looking bad at all. There's maybe the odd little sort of chip here and there, but I can come back to them. The ones that I've left off the bases, certainly over this side, you can see certainly around the hair area there is quite a bit of sort of scuffing, and the paint has come away, so I do need to give them some attention. And this is one of the famed snipers, and somewhere around, yeah, you can see where his cloak has come away slightly, and that is in need of repair. Okay, and yeah, more paint chipped off. That was that kind of thing was very prevalent, again, as I say, because I just packed it too tightly. There's one named character that I can recognize here, and I can't remember for the life of me the name of his ammo loader, but that is Try Again Bragg. And as you can see, his hair is in dire need of a do-over. So I will grab these off and I'll go start on some of the repaints. Oh yeah, just while I've got them here, and there's a bit of a mix and match. This one, from what I can tell, is one of the original Gaunt Ghosts miniatures, and that would have been the Tanith war knife. That's what I would have sort of taken the dimensions from, because wherever possible all of them had war knives added to them. These ones, as you can tell from the fact that they've got tattoos, these were Katakan jungle fighters originally. So generally for the Tanith, unless it was an actual Tanith miniature, then I would have been using a Katakan for them. And this is Cadian, obviously. The Belladon intake, and I did try and keep it sort of uniform with this kind of all the way through. And this one right here, that, apart from having a oh god, Necromunda, one of the Ganger Hive heads, that body is old first edition Imperial Guard. So they would have been the Vervenhivers, unless they were female, in which case, if it was female, it was also a Vervenhiver. So yeah, as I'm going through these, there you go. I've done all 3 intakes, and yeah, there are ones around, obviously. Try Again Bragg unfortunately met his demise before they joined up with the Belladon, but he was such a big part of the books, he's in there. So don't look for a canonical timeline. If they were a big part of the book and they were memorable, they're in the army. All right, I have just grabbed a couple of the easier ones just to make a start on them, because I have been advised that we've got to pop out and do some last minute shopping. It is that time of the year, and I've replaced the paper on my homemade wet palette here. And right, I'll line them up a little bit on the boot there, and again it's that sort of scuffing on the hair. I didn't do a very good job of the lining on that. Let's just tidy that up while we're at it. No, his hair is not meant to be grey. Okay, next, because it's away from the other areas, and I am rushing this, I freely admit it, I would have used Goblin Green, so let's see if there's any touch-ups needed on the camo cloaks. There's a wee bit around his headband that needs redoing. It's a bit ratty up here on the shoulder. And again, it's that headband. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just so many little chips and things like that that just marred the whole thing. You know, when I took them out of the box and seeing that there was just so much little niggly bits of damage all over the place, and yeah, it would have just obviously marred the presentation of the whole army. I do not believe it, sodding file corruption again. Apart from this outro, which I'm refilming, there wasn't a huge amount that has been lost. It was only a couple of paints, and then I had to duck out and take a trip out and do some last minute present shopping. So I didn't get much more filming done. I did, however, get all 5 of those support infantry completed. So that is 7 miniatures for today onto the pile of success. Yay me, strange day. It's got to be said. Doing that intro certainly took me back to not necessarily the best time in the city's existence. It was quite fraught for all of us, and when you see the long form video you'll probably see it in my face. It's funny, apart from what happened with this army during that time, my youngest was watching last night's video with me, and he noted just how much more somber I was working on this particular project compared to the other stuff. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. The more of it that I get done, the better it is becoming, the more therapeutic it is. There is still a shed load to do. I've managed to, obviously I'm not 100% certain of the complete extent of the damage, because as I'm sort of like looking at them, I'm finding more and more little blemishes. So even the ones that I've sort of cleared, that are sitting other side of the camera, I'm gonna have to go back over and double check them really properly. I do know that anyway, and this is unfortunately on most of them, where I have used milliput, that has suffered severe paint rubbing offing. Bragg's hair was sculpted on using milliput, and on those support ones, because of the pose, I think that's the reason why I used milliput on those ones. Or it's entirely possible that they sort of came like that when I bought that big job lot. I'm not sure. Anyway, where there's milliput, that's where the damage is, and certainly the join around sort of like hood and the back of the cloak has been milliputted on pretty much everybody. So that's definitely a place where I've got to look out for and double check. Am I going to get these done by Christmas? Nah, not all of them. There's too many. But I'll get there, and it is good to finally get a start on them. It really is. Anyway, that is enough of me prattling on. Oh, before I forget, obviously the big win for today was that reasonably extensive repair job on a named character, General Grizmund. He is back in action, so the army has a commander to rally around, at least before I start getting the officers of the First and Only back on their feet. Right, this time, that is it from me for tonight. One more day to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Toodle pip for now.